just say omo transfer no they are done. Chelsea so hwe say abrante friend no aye Gerard Hato and so ene aye abrante a friend Xavi Simons omo de emo ba aye team no omo de ba mo still person ko for another winger then ba and say Mudrik omo nim time or return na nei Nkuku so ne aye Felix you know cause Felix put there wa join aye Nasa ewo for 2 years enya asem keto akra ntino mko akọfa another winger na no mo hwe say abrante friend no Garnacho Chelsea supporters pool omo pool abrante Garnacho likely so be join Chelsea ti be hwe but den na ode ebre team no ewo na afi ye hu de ekọ ene de eba ewo no afi ebebo remu to say yes abrante friend no Rashford or making a debut the ama bubu friend no Barcelona ekọ sen ene obefiti in ana so unfiti na utimi say abrante friend no Yamila man no game no boy utimi say the performance na sheda anko ye ni ade a man for started reading meanings into it we any nsem bebra na ye corner chese ye hwe Morgan Gibbs White me hu bi da say player ya trigger ni release clause asa dane ho ewesa ni contract extension edema Newcastle die na koso ehonum abehwe na afi Man United enei say strikers no say gumbebre omo hu de omo mfa abrante a utumi say yes uko Aston Villa mo striker kase part say utumi say since o join the team no double figures nko a eno de mo omo hwe som kwa kofa so na Sesco so no omo hwe se omo mu ba ko omo kwa kofa ndi no ma ne ade a se ba ne sa e be have effect ewo abrante friend Nicholas Jackson se ba say Man United ba kofa Sesco dia na e tiredi na mum so mo kofa Aston Villa Oli Watkins na there will be consequence on abrante friend Nicholas Jackson transfers ni the doors pop and you to say yes Donnarumma so deal no and the latest news eba no mo yi Chelsea free omo yi Chelsea e na free say no Chelsea nka ho Chelsea nye den enka ho na Man United Galatasaray and the Saudi teams no na chese abo awrem e wo hono yes enti eno ene chese de ekoso ho a ene me de atu anim e wo hono to me say yes at Liverpool ni we just say dan deal ansa one ma no enso any de ko any de eba brand friend Dan Indoyi abrante we onibo brutal no sina kind de ma bologna o pesa o ko just shot on target pa abrante we me de edi agromu pa na Napoli peno ene me no ka say bobo ko friend Nottingham Forest a hijack deal na ene wa ba be pim a just nyama. And so koye transfer so no here we go or join bobo friend Manchester City wo hono ma and so goalkeeping movement no so no be koso ye papa wo hono ma and so ye de emunsem no so no de ye den bro wo hono. Yes, Newcastle last time abrante friend Ramsdale finally Newcastle so enye obi ani omo ba be sign na fi bibia so no etumi akoye se na nasa se ne omo pa branch ye fe no Kukurela no krobia enhye da anim no we ene chese news ahodo a ene ye de bro ene ewe show me live Facebook oko MYBET no what intemu MYBET no what intemu now the arena no na say Africa na den asoso a etwa good de wo Facebook a enya asem keto akran to betuma join wo Facebook starting as street is watching and ABN Radio 1 nyina Facebook na fe MYBET online radio no so twagu okọ YouTube MYBET.AFRICA TV and asaso na akọ ba bia ye di us ne man ade a bomode an join here e Telegram account ho Sports Arena and akọ TikTok sports.arena.news. Yan come MYBET education ni kakra na fe yan start nsam no. Uza for mama kwa ba.
Yeah, this do ajo so.
Yeah, money ma yan share MYBET education no.
Yes, yeah, share MYBET education there in say MYBET.AFRICA and betting platform almost so ya say make sure say kwan bia so ne betimi di show we bro. time bia me ba ha me ka ope bibia obetimi atwa bet a usika na asemo mba ho a MYBET.AFRICA nti ene borem mo platform no so na so ko face sky wo so oba ka busua ne ho dia steps we na say oti nti ene ko www.MYBET.AFRICA browser bia mu edwuma nti ko a on platform ni be bie fefe top right corner obehu icon bia circle ni green umia so a obehu login ni register with register ne ma kwan say won so be register ba be ka busua no three simple steps: phone number, username, and our password. Into phone number near phone number or mobile money transactions. Send a name, discount my bet. I'll bet me as a bar of phone is you. And our username no bet me use nickname a dim be a person use. But time be a mecase be a person use Kwame Ama Kofi. It be a no be a platform is where you should that. Into a dear bear and the number by community account. Now man a unique amount. The next one your password. And the one in password I'll bet me a kai. Uboshima Simbiamba, Ubo you now me register this one. Send verification code now they are verify our account. To verify account, we are became Busiano. See, on platform no maybe in Yama or Tinanwa Edin or Tinmoy do. TNA, your baby start season, you pay baby better be fiscal. Udi bet na no ma send you message. We discover another fa. Omo the aka bonus, omo the cash out option, omo the bet builder. And a bet feature, a man quite more the expertise bet selections. Into no answer because picky bako. Now do sika taiche. Nei, if you to am the man say ope bibia betwa better wasum bejoa MYBET.AFRICA nti ne beka ebusuano na nso be fisika MYBET.
Right, beka ebusuano ho na also ebe fisika na bibia nso no enye dem enkoye horum teams no build they are building yanhwe ekwan a teams no fa so building, and I think say the concentration no will be on Liverpool. Yeah. What do they want to do now? Who Arsenal playing some of the friendly games near there and near there. It's young teams in Nunafe. Young Fadia Coson and Fambre a T4.
Okay, to see right teams in my senior kind Liverpool, you who transfers no and then send baby about. Obia kase na Liverpool nye skawen ene omubore momuto players. But adeba kwa ere finish say anytime be a team be ana transfer window baby you know. Clubs ne ma coach na sporting directors no me available scam bet me use. Into mostly so bet here more of okay am 100 million. But say coach need to me turn players ni be a scan here then ebe ka ho. More no so timi di ne nyama ba ko mienu. Yen kai say u qualify for the Champions League. Clubs ni wo munye ska. Into so boa mo transfers ni bibia koye. Into so Liverpool last season or qualify for the Champions League. Last season Sky de ma say no mo fan to players 200 million. Sika emu bi omu yi yedi to player ba akope. That is around 10 to 15 million. And the kofa he is a free Juventus. But apart from that, no man touch his can be. Omu di Zubimendi Chia manyama intimi anko yi am omu jaye. Ene oji the Premier League was qualified for the Champions League. Inti senkonya 200 million last season. This season a transfer no or almost getting to 300 million because of one the league or GA and at the Champions League our boy me ene say who's a Liverpool akọ player bia ho kwan bia so no o my ready so on beto no because he can dia wo ho ene o transfers on my year is getting to almost 300 million still HS Liverpool scar on bet me rim. So the likes of Luis Diaz can so about become send a midi kind boss no say e ma kwan o ton player e ma kwan ma utiminya extra account sikanu nti ene omune Isaki didi nkomo Newcastle na last time me be cheche mu so ho be chiro mu ye because as of now nkomo e course Newcastle company say o hwe Alexander Isaka edi how person che say omuto omo Singapore no be join even though say report ba bonti say no nya injury and unti no muja no e wo England and e onti be join nteche say Liverpool same na ekoso a omo hwe say Liverpool dey from 150 to 170 and Newcastle for asking price as see a omo hwe so mbeje but I think Liverpool betimi negotiate because of one player and person okọ and Newcastle so nya ready so betimi renew the contract to 300,000 na original into ene obetimi rem Liverpool apart from Isak still on betimi another transfer into ene my adwin say oto Isak you want me baby abium ene oska obetimi even though say na Isak came by no planning of Rodrigo no I na dream so betu 90 to 100 there wo into ene si wonya Luis Diaz sika of 75 about be so meaning say oska I'll bet me transfer to Liverpool with this transfer market. I think I got two players on be added to a squad. betimi aye. But I think eba no say formation wise as any boss no say ne oma imagine some bebo two top and enyama bebre. I think formation wise I dear Liverpool here a DM. Ohwe omu DM role na Gravenberch and Endo and na occupy those positions. And they Endo will be at the Premier League who say I slot a man minutes bebre. Time be baby mo aba bono. Ne either say oba aba be slow game ni because o ma share 1 and 2. And they omo he so betimi age the Champions League, betimi age also the Premier League. Any other trophies are available. And unti no go into a season with a player not on a DM or a natural DM now. And also a player na ono mukoto na as a DM but ni ball playing in so coach ni I think it's one position as well but I think they have other plans or more sure. But Liverpool this season or maybe few almost squad ni and say opese dominated the Manchester City dominated na ese ultimate add Man City season in season out or more add the quality even time or J 3 Premier League twice no or the Erling Haaland de beka ho a ebo animal team J Champions League ntia no and a Liverpool e hwe so mbetimi atoto nyama yi ama bibia etimi akoyi yen hwe transfers ne kakra with transfers Granit Xhaka yehu se nsem bebre eba so one Bayern Leverkusen even coach a friend on Eric Ten Hag ba bonten be ka say kwan bia so no make keep player no because o man adwin so mo mpese o mo jai no mo no so timi join any other club because he any experience on the club and especially Florian Wirtz o me lose 1 or 2 players o mo hwe say team ne core na nkasa mfimfin no betimi maintain ba ono so be kan bonten say kwan bia so no opeso free opeso return back to England with Sunderland offer na a good offer man o share the Premier League amount that exposure even though says next season the Sunderland go back to relegation krana obetimi nya another club in the Premier League obey na dwen say obey maintain who the likes of Ramsdale our boss so ye nei omukọ championship but Newcastle person timi nya ne service into the Premier League amount that exposure Granit Xhaka and no person timi wem and making sure say bibia timi akoyi watima ba belande wo England or has obey the medicals Sunderland first game omubebo in the Premier League against West Ham no obetimi ejine mu abobia moma ene wo share experience or dey back into the Sunderland setup now wabo Arsenal with the Premier League experience wo call Germany otimi ko win titles ba ko mienu nti obe wabo the homodin obetimi aboa sam finfi with the likes of Adingra mu in that Sunderland setup no ene bibia ebetimi akoye wo ye hwe Ramsdale ye ne nim say na Southampton e hwe so mu hia quality goalkeeper so be returning back into the Premier League we had that quality goalkeeper betimi aba man that shield no you who the likes of Trafford and Manchester City abure makwakofano into ene so mutimi nya Ramsdale ebo ma they can come back into the Premier League but Newcastle abure Newcastle we transfer market we are ya menim nukreni mi hu club or qualify for Champions League or brands and what to play say that omo brand omo ko wisa ho a Brentford sementon no omo ko ha team we sementon no omo ko ha na yakosisi omni akoji ska ne omu key player Isaac Kra Liverpool person sanje fi omu nsem edi how hwe so the Ramsdale ba be kan team no ade into the Ramsdale ba be kan team no ho ye o hwe Nick Pope a ban short stopping or one of the best in the Premier League o hwe high to kuta any bibia or ma that experience out here in post but so hwe Nick Pope injury record in the last 2 seasons we missing 5 months in the last 5 months in each season. Into remember and say the last 2 seasons we are missing almost 10 months of Newcastle games. Back here to shoulder injury, back here to knee injury, and omu here reliable goalkeeper betimi abim. Now Eddie Howe going into next season or going into the Champions League, obesha class with Barcelona, the Real Madrid, the Paris Saint-Germain, and here ball playing goalkeeper. And Nuntina Osher Ramsdale, who say Ramsdale Arsenal, and the ball playing and wedding, Kaka Kopim say Ramsdale, we right by will be 2 no. Into any Onya Ramsdale, Ebeka Nick Pope one or experienced goalkeepers of my Premier League Nachemi, Ramsdale so were demo Arsenal during their Champions League times. Into any or Shesom in the service, but option Nakwa say Newcastle person G loan and an option to buy. Southampton there as a now omuni any issue with loan and now option to buy and so my ready some between omo dey any say the option to buy sikano no many one because one person who say oh ba be bo amamu no ye be hu ni say at the end of the season no be put up a good performance na wetimi assign no enye saa dia meaning say more returning e back eba be ya deswa because e hoi ni age any nyama we play factor wo mti omo hwe say Newcastle face can be fakra and I say loan or pay option to buy, but pay an obligation to buy at the end of the season, you know, on bet me we ma be fan. Ye can keep us as a Paris Saint-Germain. And they Oshe Donnarumma in 70 na kwa kosi say so Paris Saint-Germain they some be renew the contract. But also some this can be back home. Now because any say about world best goalkeepers are untimi mbo emutri a umbo Donnarumma dini enka ho. You heard the Champions League performance or dani the Italian national team you so muji your performance or dani the uhwe age or day ba. You Donnarumma obe fin si woni but Donnarumma 26 years goalkeeper but experience awaiting me afa experience awaiting me nya in world football near the ba kwa esueni or starting the goalkeeping at the age of 19 years into a okuta up to 7 years experience in different teams from AC Milan to Paris Saint-Germain to the Italian national team into a one quality goalkeeper about team ma bibia here e goalkeeper height any bibia and now here by her we say a contract on sem na kwa ko yes kasem Donnarumma si call just here as a now 208 that is euros 208,000 euros ewo Paris Saint-Germain into her Paris Saint-Germain nika krabe count at least omoma no 250 270 because who world class or they matching but we coach or that Paris Saint-Germain enimu na the style of goalkeeper na nko pe no enye Donnarumma type ni bi those say Donnarumma is very good but no pe goalkeepers are on betimi abobo on free echi goalkeepers they say Edison mu and the likes of Mevani say the likes of Kepa mu obetimi agina ball so aboni ye free echi and making sure say obetimi ma accurate passes or Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea in the FIFA Club World Cup ade a Chelsea for Eddie BT Paris Saint-Germain nie goalkeeper passing into the final third the way Sanchez ball good passes into the final third utimu se na Donnarumma intimi bonta this a Vitinha mo ebeje ball ni konti ene oma boewe mu say leave for goalkeeper bi na in the French Ligue 1 no o share Uyi Petrovic last season o a good performance with the ball playing ability Lucas at the next goalkeeper or no a second and sana there are other goalkeepers Donnarumma or no that fit no based on team no defensive structure no at the back one because the likes of Vitinha mo be ball no into easy so be pass amom and then Paris Saint-Germain so betimi enya goalkeeper friend Lucas Chevara so be come team no ma bibia etimi akoyi and then we goalkeeper na the price on betimi enya ne ball nya den they are looking at the 35 to 40 million 35 to 40 million bibia ebetimi akoyi or na one question about this is Donnarumma or Kwahi because our clubs are at this time omuhia goalkeepers Barcelona no hia goalkeeper we ma kwakofa Joan Garcia ba Man United no more chef for a goalkeeper Galatasaray is hia goalkeeper because their previous goalkeeper no ne were retire almost say between Donnarumma and also Edison but Manchester City going for Trafford no HS Man City's goalkeeping issue no matter solve it. Now you who say send our boss no Chelsea are buying into the conversation because one you who say Chelsea can say no more here a quality and experienced goalkeeper obetimi amaba Matt Robert Sanchez pressure until now share and our competition until now share omu the likes of Mignolet that is we a friend is saying AC Milan so betimi aba
Magna
yes
yeah,
so betimi aba be bomo na transfers ni ntimi ankoyi nti ene Donnarumma ya insem naba bebre because o Chelsea Donnarumma any Robert Sanchez as a Chelsea fan as any Chelsea fan we all share with these two goalkeepers no qualities are Enzo Maresca adanedi from the start of befa Chelsea Jumane say up a goalkeeper or a ball playing goalkeeper up a goalkeeper inyama muya dinya obeba ababebo as another center back amano say Chelsea kuta ball a progressive ball nti ene Donnarumma sense say can say Chelsea issues say say they are rubbishing the issue say omunko for Donnarumma and I think that is it because we heard the style of Enzo Maresca Donnarumma enye a perfect fit for him but say be say club ne share so mbenya a world class goalkeeper because ene is obeji the Premier League obeji the Champions League you need a quality goalkeeper in your post. But I think Sanchez last few weeks, last few months for Chelsea, performance ne improve. The ball playing, the saves, and then Yama Bakumi, and Sanchez said the ball home. I don't think that Chelsea ebe coin for Donnarumma. there would be another issue with wages because player need 208,000 euros. Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea highest paid player as of now, regimes of 250, and at Chelsea and Yana James will be to Donnarumma more than regimes coming into the Chelsea team, and also Mbambe issue with players renewing contract because Donnarumma be removed with this amount. Chelsea any other player be a contract negotiation bebano. Ombe Omadjin said they can ask for more. Enyama ebetimi akoye. Manchester City player friend Makati. And they not time for a special room 80 kofano. I think there were rumors say Kwame Bia so Man City beja ne Kwame Manako. Yeah, so the likes of Chelsea, any other class to be on margin so maybe bisa say na enyama beko ama bibia koye but Man City or in a way say on fair price tag into player ne so ye. Into be presented that is an offer no mo hwe okay on beja Manako but say offer ne nya they will tell you say court na sambra bi me not time forest at the 225 million. And I'll be with Man City. So, Munya Makatia, fan because a player be a obey me abo as a number 10, obey me abo as a number 8 from the wings, obey me abo baby. Ocean quality no quitana. Or one player with age and on the side into with time no be improving because Ocean minutes on or Manchester City last season performance or done their game against Southampton or Bemu. The chances on even though say or share go, but chances on any positioning me more than 4 goals. A the quality Makati when they Nottingham Forest and 25 million echo say me nyano Man City for say there be scaniswa into omunkono monsa brabio into ama kwan bia ma say other clubs into be omadwin so almost be pochi the likes of Makati the quality or one I think say any English club biano enya Makati wo mu team mu a bibia betimi akoyi into Man City so omo player young chap betimi aton no metimi nya ska kakra no ma say they are looking at bringing in a right back and omo hwe so betimi abem na Pep Guardiola preference of the right back no of a player to say Cancelo style no. Play your ball left foot and right foot and they say e no renew betimi cover then betimi so about as the right back into any Newcastle didn't come about Tino Livramento the former Chelsea Academy boy or signing man Newcastle or both foot or right or left or timbo right back or timbo left back and Man City has some bit me to nyama ye now with me about join you to omo hwe so mitimi ton Makatia they can now go in for Livramento that right back position or bit me about replace ka walk in o ma ton na ma Burnley.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, listo mami share here for na yensa mo bi akwaba. Say it me spend their time especially about question beside United team.
Yeah.
How they are playing and I said I said I would be happy if United will pick Watkins if they are not picking Watkins and Bobby and Benjamin Sesko. And no if you studio na champion and report say United for narrow all the other transfers of their attackers to Benjamin Sesko. And even if you look at some of the big pages are cover United or some of these big social media platforms there's been a poor or be account or Watkins and many whole time actually the reason why yesterday because of Monfa Watkins and the reason why I also feel like United transfer mode this season would not even allow them to go for a Benjamin Sesko. Finally,
and it happen if it happens like that, it means Sesko will join Nottingham. Newcastle.
Yeah. But now, Listo, if you look at before I remember Sesko, Watkins, United and Newcastle issue, no. I think it's Chelsea hierarchy, no. Anytime people talk about the number of money spent, but they do not talk about how good they are at selling players. And Listo, to be a good trader or to be a good businessman, you have to know how to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
And who negotiate here? You negotiate to buy, and you also negotiate to sell. He's also coming to negotiate. You know how Chelsea negotiated for Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And you know how Benfica and Brighton stood on their stance. This is our player, Yakokoto. You see, Tony say, if you don't have any money, if you don't have the scanner, you penako. Into Russia, a more ton a day or Accra, 2 dunes animal. obu ha obe ono no because on pese oni that energy now no be kasa bebre into ono about che say ma de no enya fi na marable 200 cedis na me no abeka na ma be there more 150 or no fixed price those days are doing pz una mo abehu ade bi o 200 cedis so utimi nya time ni dia no obeko fe no ato ade 10 cedis na say what ton less so looking at how Chelsea for top players those days Abramovich era that time not Chelsea top players in as much as in the football history they believe that statistics any data and say Chelsea near the club was spending more on player transfers in excess of over 4 billion pounds but then they also sell and then Joao Felix were completing the move in fact or starting a training with Al-Nassr and then I mean your time realm the reason why he's opted to join Al-Nassr the main option and the main motive was the money. It is not something that Benfica will be able to pay. And as young as Joao Felix is, he can play 2-3 seasons and still go back to Europe and play at the highest level. At that time, Ubaka said, and Kafina could do the peak 27, 28, Kafina would do the peak, and the scandal so excellent. In fact, he was persuaded and being brought in by a word from the captain. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a very influential player when as far as the Portuguese national team is concerned. It is only Ronaldo, only a captain. Everybody at the same team, a specific continent. Now you call FIFA Club World Cup, not Ronaldo, but it means that you're also going to play. All fellas in the say, obeti about, obeti must stay consistent. Only kunya injury, my uncle sideline, he will play and still provide assist and maybe score some 1 or 2 goals. And indeed, I included. In fact, Ono Kankan, we're very lucky that even if he's not been having that very good form, the career never be ups and downs. Always in the Portuguese national team, he's always had a spot in there. I think that finally Chelsea are now for now completely BBI. Everything has been signed. 43.7 million pounds in the air call. Initial of 26.2, but then 17.5 million will come as potential add-ons and so beat me about now. Listen, Chelsea are raising 135.7 million from sales this summer. So they've bought Joao Pedro, they've bought Obitise, Jimmy Gittins, Amato, Estavio, William Monet, Quenda, Dario, so going now. Deals are more concluding now. Winter, I need their money will come into this summer transfer window. Listo, they've gained 135.7 million. That is revenue. A bit more clear books. Now, if you compare that one to the net spender, it is what is kind Chelsea has spent plus the profits are so far. Now it means that Chelsea net spent 82.2 million.
Okay.
When putting for FIFA Club World Cup prize money by so clearing their books will be so much very easy for them. Now there are a lot of players on Beko. Obitise Sterling, Obitise Benchiwo, and a lot of other players in Kuku, Renato Veiga. These players are, I think that with these remaining players are just special more flow they can also get additional 100+ million. Now Victor Gyökeres and so started training and a very good welcome from the players. In fact, before Obabe joining Arsenal, not him say Obitse Lewis Kelly, Arsenal through and through or supporting Arsenal. So sometimes despite the fact of a player, you might not be seeing some of the reaction. But then watch the video be about now Fabrizio Victor Gyökeres post here we go now or yet the celebration as a player. He's excited to meet Victor Gyökeres. So it tells you how the Arsenal hierarchy and the board and the team they hold this boy in the highest esteem. And no, my catcher say the reason why Arsenal paying for when Edu, who was the sporting director at Arsenal, he wanted Benjamin Sesko. When Jason Aito and to be replaced, as the interim sporting director for Arsenal, he also wanted Benjamin Sesko or money a year agent Elvis. Started having conversations, and last 2 seasons, and I said last year in 2024, live again Benjamin Sesko extended contracts and contract extension. It was in say if any elite club that is pay Benjamin Sesko, the explanation Benjamin Sesko might see Newcastle as an elite club, but if Newcastle is ready to pay the release clause, not this boy doesn't see Newcastle as an elite club, they will not sanction the move. A mutual agreement. So if an elite club ever saw about betrayal clause now, and the clause no between 80 to 90 million euros. So last season 2024, Benjamin Sesko extended the contract for IB Leipzig. You know, there was that gentleman agreement in it. If an elite club buy for me player now, release clause 80 to 90 million. That is the elite club, you know, in quotes, defined by Benjamin Sesko, not IB Leipzig. IB Leipzig might see Newcastle as an elite club, but the boy in question might not see Newcastle as an elite club. Then again, we check it Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal for no, they believe that they need somebody with more that immediate impact. So when MYBET buy, you know, or check it Europe, you know who say, but you may do no, and you have to know my matrama. They have done that matrama for the past 6 years. They've not won anything. So this time round, they gambled on Gabriel Jesus. They gambled on a bit say Kai Havertz, and they couldn't live up to expectation. So they need somebody who will stay consistent with a very good injury record. He's been scoring for fun. And somebody he's known to the Premier League terrain or the English football bar, adapting and acclimatization to the Premier League as early as possible. No, wouldn't be very so much difficult for that player. And MYBET, it's me convincing Ateta and the sporting directors and so more higher can say we should go in for this boy, and he's a proven goal scorer. Oh yeah, although at Brighton he was very young, 19 years, known to me Mbo Remu. They sent him on loan at Swansea, Derby County in the Championship. He was starting improve or signed him as Sporting. A lot of Nema in Altimakwamo. So I know Victor Gokres has started training now. Nema in so Ekoye now. Luis Diaz, and also Listo and no and Ofri Liverpool camp where Asia or other players need to say and you have some time a conversation about him leaving and things. And so this summer transfer window will start here. Maybe catch yourself. Liverpool, the situation they are finding themselves, they won't have to keep Luis Diaz. And if they come and say they will keep Luis Diaz, it will take a huge sums of money for them to do that, because there is a player or that 2 million plus a year salary. So person always stand there. The kind of money Barca and some of the other teams at the Bano, you have to reach that amount of, after all, Wajibi or Liverpool. He is not going to be at the apex as the most important player for Liverpool. Always, Kika, Ubebo Van Dijk, Ubebo Mohamed Salah, and even Alexis McAllister, Alisson, as maybe or no Luis Diaz. But in terms of goals and numbers, no player in Liverpool set up apart from Mohamed Salah, and they provided more numbers. But then, Ocheki Liverpool now, he's not going to be regarded as a most important player, and he won't be from the money. Salah, Firmino was a year, but then people didn't see him as such. Now, the mover and this kind of way for the buyer, almost 4 times whatever he's earning. If he's earning in euros 4 million euros, or Liverpool now buyer for say you have about 10 million in the account. Watch the Premier League. Come to Bayern Munich, another feeling, another experience added to your portfolio. Yeah. We are giving you more money, and you're going to be our key player for us. Also, I will be and paying at say, we go do Germany, and TNC official announcement from Bayern Munich, Vincent Company, and also Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, and no, catch say pressure and shed and almost say they were forced to sign a winger. You see that academy graduate or more find the features in the Bayern.
Yeah.
Now they have Cody Gakpo who can replace him directly at that left side. Now, if they are going to buy another striker, because they believe that Hugo Ekitike is replacing the late Diego Jota, and then if they bring in another striker, that is if that willingness, if you are, they will buy another striker. And if they buy another striker, then they will need somebody to operate from the flanks, especially on the left side, who get Ekitike can equally do that. So right now, ABS kind of match free Bayern Munich on. Already they've spent a lot of money, over 200 million pounds this summer. So getting this money, debate Mabua, Club books. And don't forget, say Ben Dock, Harvey Elliott, and a lot of other Liverpool homegrown players. They can also manage to sell these players. So I think that looking at all these things, it's a win-win situation.
I would just say a 16-year-old, a real Ngumuhano, or up there to help Gakpo say Obebo the left side.
And it's America say finally they have somebody Obe fitting so much. Now the thing is, if Gakpo Niwa, who else can also play from that left side? And they have a lot of options. They have a lot of options for that role. That 16-year-old boy, they can give you the opportunities to especially in the early stages of the FA Cup and the EFL. And boy, now we share the preseason games anyway. But he's one of the players that he wants to get the opportunity to showcase the Liverpool fans and the world. Say, if Luis Diaz knew any quality Gakpo knew made him able. And now again, who got Ekitike number in the The reason why Obama is who several times Liverpool they are playing down in the Diego Jota operating from the left side. So there's a reason why they invested in players are more versatile. In fact, Obi to say Florian Wirtz, they can also operate him. That 4-4-2 system you want to see if Liverpool going to play. Florian Wirtz will operate from the left side. So Luis Diaz there, definitely they might go into the market and buy. They can even do the Rodrigo bit.
And do we see Rodrigo moving this summer?
Is he Listo? To me, I think that Rodrigo move, especially knowing for a fact that Liverpool are searching for another striker. To be very honest, if Liverpool can afford Rodrigo, Listo, I see say it will be either Rodrigo or Alexander Isak. Because Medical Wabe explaining the amount of revenue Liverpool now over 600 million, TV rights, commercial, winning the league, and other stuff. But the amount of money at least to Oma spending, how many players are they even selling? Ben Dock have a lot money. Maybe you sold Jared Kwanzaa for 30 million plus. Harvey Elliott, Whitmart on 30 million plus. Ben Dock money sound crank. Won't even Tom Munya that 30 million plus. Now looking at the number of players that Liverpool are signing, and some of the players that they want to let go. Now, Medican Ibrahim Akonate, they're natural. They've given him the Amino contract extension several times, but he's not extending because the boy Amamaya will say he's keen to move to Real Madrid, and currently, Madrid Medican Casamacha Madrid. The reason why of late Madrid for players may be free, Madrid didn't say they are not going to pay that 50 million asking price at Liverpool Casa. This is a player I kind of 1 year on a contract. January they can open up and agree terms with the boy. Okay. So all they have to do is say is either you accept the 25 million here. Then, my boy Naba. And I say, Summer, you have a funny free. Scanner, come in the mount. I will give it to the player because the player never be my. The man is getting and Madrid coach and a coach Abia or money basa. If they are giving players big money, they believe that we are a big club and big players play for big clubs and big players are supposed to be paid big. So they don't care about the amount of money they are paying. See how I'm going for Alaba free Bayern Munich buy. Alaba wanted to play because already Adibi also a year for Bayern Munich. He has done a person Mbappe tested Real Madrid. And some of these young players grew up watching the Real Madrid, watching Barcelona in this El Clasico moment, and they have dreamt. Look at how Hazard Madrid did achieve 4 years. But he made Chelsea for him say, this is my dream club. I spent over 7 years at this club, and I think say it is time I was there because Okoye, he didn't have a very good career at Real Madrid. So with me, Liverpool, I think say they won't rush. Even if Ometo a winger cry, it's not going to be a very high profile winger like Obitze Rodrigo. See how they went in to buy Luis Diaz. He wasn't a world beater at that time. Although not or show glimpses or a very good El Porto, they went in to buy him. So they can bring in another winger, but that high profile name, like Obitze Rodrigo, I don't know why Liverpool are not approaching Eberechi Eze, but even if they approach Eberechi Eze, 60 million they can pay Eberechi, I think, or that 150,000. So Crystal Palace, Liverpool can increase it, and the player will be keen to move to the club. So to me, I think that if Liverpool are going to spend more than, or especially as the same amount buy for the far Luis Diaz now, they know that to be able to get a player like Luis Diaz caliber, they have to pay big, same as the transfer amount, and also pay big, same as the amount also Kwakwajo. So currently they might looking at getting some of the places that they believe that here players don't have a and in Alisson Becker report nature say we're free a year training base for personal reasons. In the game of J1 league we for the Bebono Georgie Madersville and the and they are clear that next 2-3 seasons Georgie is going to be Liverpool's number 1, and they invested in him last season in the Waba. So whatever Richie Hughes more and the sporting directors are doing, they know that you win some and you lose some. But at this moment, if Amoko Presse, they are going to buy Rodrigo, they are going to buy a year. They will be feeling maybe they are doing a very wrong business. But then to me, from where I stand, any Liverpool position as at this moment, I see Listo. They will either sign a big winger, that is it, because we sign Rodrigo a statement signing. They will do Rodrigo, or they will do Alexander Isak, one of them. Isak Bampodia, it means that left flank road, if Cody Gakpo who get Kitike can equally operate from that side. Now, Listo, let me come to United and narrowing their striking department.
I think if Omunya Oli Watkins are, they will be in contention to fight for top 4. No,
yes,
the league
yes,
there to not be to not.
You see, I was there and
if they get no Munya correct defensive midfielder.
When was the last time na make us a United team no number 9 role unhia a strike or abishe goals ni bebre.
We will run it through the channel.
Or run it through the channel any nyama. So I think Unyana, the likes of Kunya, the likes of Mbeumo, they were giving good numbers last season. And Premier League no Boache, and against the likes of Manchester City, Munebi Abemoma Philly said they need to calm down. They would want to show something, especially at a club like United. Okay. Watkins it gives them that experience up front. In three players are their experience in the Premier League, and they have the quality to match any defense.
Goal involvement. 3 players will be more than 100. Though.
Yes, because we might no into 100, maybe around
goal involvement.
Maybe
around. Let's say Abia all these 3 strikers. I'm on about up front. Will be a bit my 20 plus going well because Watkins has shown say for the past 3 seasons, my 20 plus goals and assists.
I think last 2 seasons, Bonninya assist.
No, I think he was behind Kopama.
No, that's last 2 seasons before Salah.
But last season he was behind
Kopama.
Yes.
Okay, because Mikaisa one time he picked
I think he was behind Kopama. But then in terms of nowadays, the goals and assists, they are big permanent. But he was also this is Watkins stats.
Yes,
for the past 3 seasons. So virus based mama like 2023 or she 16 goals provided 7 assists. That is roughly 23 goals. 2024 season or provided or she 27 goals, it provided 13 assists. Then last season or she 17 goals and we provided 14 assists. And then Kunha, so at least we bet about 10 goals, 8 assists, close to 20. In Mbeumo, check here, I also bet about 20.
So last year, Kunha my 17 plus 6, which is 23.
Yes.
And I will also do Fatu Sukese.
My 17-14.
17-14. TBS and Okabo Mebes.
To Mevan is 31.
31 plus 23.
That is about 54.
Then you share a
Mbeumo 21, I think 21-13.
Okabo may do 50 something. Yeah. Mevan say close to 80.
Yeah.
And in fact, let's even look at the team they were even playing for.
Yes.
And Sana because Brentford You see, if you watch Brentford play, they are a team of almost very defensive football.
Yeah.
And for a player to score 20 goals as a winger, it tells you how prolific that player is. Now, listen to Rami history. Him. On said, Nra, we spoke about some of the strikers. And Mikacho said, Man United, every Nicolas Jackson deal because they believe it is expensive for them to do at this moment. Now, reports in the chair say, a man narrow or more interested into 2 strikers. But listen, I want to ask something. Osha United signings, as an in your signings, especially this season. Say there is something, they have a unique message. They need Premier League proven players.
Quick fix.
They want an immediate impact. They want players who can adapt. I'm more adapt to the devil. And they want Premier League proven players because they believe that for United to be at the highest level commercially and also in revenue, they have to be playing the Champions League. And the Europa League should be a getaway for them. Now, and they are clear say they want Premier League proven players. In as much as they would also want a player with the potential the next 10, 20, next 5 to 10 years, he will be one of the best strikers. So in sometimes they are low risk and no more high risk. Now, the reason why Enrano, me to see Oli Watkins is I see Oli Watkins to be a low risk investment from United because one of falling under a more transfer strategy, especially this season, Premier League proven players, Kunha and Brian Mbuemo. These players are 25 years, so Ubetime categorize them as very young. But Oli Watkins, 29 years. So there's a reason why it is a risk, but then a low. We will do 29. And history, any Nehemiah who be that chase, especially for strikers, they tend to perform very well when they reach their 20s and their 30s. Benzema, a typical example. Didier Drogba, only 27, 28 Mohokon, and not reaching the peak. Mention any other striker. Omudu, they are 29 mona. And at that time, they've gone through all the symmetrics and everything of the emotions of football, chances, creations, and everything. Obedu baby no, I am matured. Now, the reason why I make us say Benjamin says quite a high risk is Sesko listo or expensive. Even apart from paying 80 to 90 million to IB Leipzig, he's not coming to adapt to the Premier League. Very high. He's expensive. That is very high. Or potential. Or bad. What to jackpot. Just like because this boy, when he was Damsel at 16 years old, now we are saying and finally he's worked with Christian Vivera, director of recruitment at Manchester United, on the neighbor IB Leipzig and from Salzburg. They've worked together and he knows the potential. So the reason why we are high risk is on your Premier League proven, Premier League no more. Now I'm far. But then he has the potential. But then at this stage of United career, do they even have the time to groom him to reach the full potential? And next time coming to stay with Rasmus Højlund, because Højlund at Atlanta was also one of the players that they believe that potential. Next 2-3 seasons, speed and scoring goals for that matter. Now, listen. If you look at the reason why United hierarchy, decided on these 2 players they have something in common. Maybe some of the fans in the clock here, area ability, and that is one thing I'm here about Oli Watkins. Listen, from the start of 2001, let me get the fact right. Since 2001 to from that season, like 2021, 2022 season up to now, there are only 2 players, penalists, or more headed goals than Oli Watkins in the Premier League. Harry Kane 18, Chris Wood 17, and Oli Watkins, listo, since that period, was just 16 headed goals. Not even Mateta or not even any other striker. So since that time, no striker and I share more goals. As saying a year old since 2020, 2021 season, since 2022, in the space of 5 years, no striker in the Premier League and I share more headed goals than Oli Watkins. Maybe a man for imagine basketball, no, then say, you see, for you to be able to score header goals, nobody say DJ Drogba say. Checking the goal no shot against Bayern Munich in the Munchen final. And you say be a defender now. Ohrina or was saying no. I think no only Gomez. Almost striker Gomez. And a call that to turn on heading ball. Really, Drogba ain't good in saying Gomez. But the movements, anyhow, we share ball. This boy used to Watkins. Whether
I think it was Jerome Boateng.
Sorry,
No,
Jerome Boateng.
But so the Drogba and Jerome
Boateng,
area
right.
means that Jerome will always be ahead of DJ Drogba. But I didn't come out Drogba set up especially area any movement. Even if they always see head the ball, when you said Jerome any free shoulder to shoulder, Jerome be pushing. Into all you know the camera space then some blockade Jerome and all the TP pin ball. But with only Watkins, the virus betting me some of the heading sequence I was share, especially either a year far post, either a year inside the 6-yard box in front of the goalkeeper, and also whether a year near post or a very good because listo. Adipakwa, ube team there. Ronaldo say no otimi jampio, but no otimi far boss eja other because of the movements. And Adipakwa listo, I like about Oli Watkins. Always people call Ronaldo tapping merchant, but listo. If you don't have good movement, if you are not able to lose your marker, you won't get that tappings. You know. How many tappings does Jackson in your Chelsea game? Because on time, a lot of movement in the box. But any striker, any player, both or one, no dominate the opponent, no dodge, you know, keep an achieve ball now. On open the on any time, Ronaldo not tapping goes share. But tapping goes no. Rebecca say if it be easy, do one. Who jam about you even get the access to get that few tapping goals no, to score. Unya sa tapping goals apart from the headed goals, Watkins there were a lot of plenty tappings. Super check it, the goals says here. We a lot of plenty tappings. Both say keep archie. And 1v1 say ya the boy say ya boy true ball at home. Only keeper. It's either obey chipping ball and obey rounding goalkeeper no. Then again. But sounds so a first time strike say yeah boy some low cross be aba box nim pa my defender name ben cry no abashe sounds so a very good one e ka onu the player as the portfolio list to and Adeba say I've been seeing you say always be awoka about Nicholas Jackson say I say nchien no ne den say goal scoring and I the lap shooting because Watkins list to or individual performance trainer. Nidinde Antonio Rodriguez. And always, if he's not training with Aston Villa, only Antonio Rodriguez, 1v1. Niema. Tappings. The movement, how to lose the markers to get into spaces Ebe Menashe. And there's the reason why Mauro Icardi used to when OBP or Inter Milan, ne Obi Kanase. Icardi in the box forgets. That is one thing. Now that we need whoa. Say yen dash, yen jibo. Now yen lose your maker for tappings. That is one thing. Now that we need we are very good at. But then listen, since you know me by the last time I maybe ran into Nicholas Jackson career, me sure say when he started playing as a number 9 for Villarreal, before me didn't call Meranes alone. Gerard Moreno prior, I'm going for Jackson by him. Now you know me and say. And he said he doesn't like his strikers to be dropping deep. That is Unai. So listen, for the past 2 seasons, Unai bar Aston Villa. How now what case in him say or a striker who stretching ball no the ball from flanks most were shooting now he's more like a focal point for Aston Villa team. And then into ama the number of touches out Onya in the game and reduce it. Last season, listen, Onya 23.8 touches per 90. And then in lowest rates, I want Aston Villa career. And then only Erling Haaland averagely 6.4, Darwin Nunes 8.2, and Rodrigo Muniz 9.3. Among all the players who have a minimum of 100 shots since United Emmy Everton. That is the lowest ever touches are United Emmy. Listen. Now tell me the comparison and the similarities between Erling Haaland, Darwin Nunes, and Rodrigo Muniz. Traditional number 9s. What you say? Now, so it means that Watkins, from how he was all attacking the white space, no, under United Emmy for the last 2 seasons, no, how a person is striking is behind your focal point. No. When you're sad, no, United Emmy, and they say, Barris beat me, Oli Watkins, the short location, maybe are able to be free for the last 4 seasons. And this season, I bet you say, especially this season, most of the shots, and maybe especially per 90, no, were more in the box. He had a lot of presence in the box, especially this season. Since you know me, no Premier League player, and then a higher rate of shots taken inside the box than a year Obiti say Oli Watkins. And also the idea about Buana Maine, so was striker now box man. Then you look at United team, no, always last season they are missing the box presence. Go born in there about the top box anymore there. Bruno Ho, she goes last season share in front of the box and as at a deeper role in there. They have players who can slot in, but in the box, that is the issue. And you see, listen, Watkins over United and the whole channel because he has played with Bayern Mbeumo, our championship. Among the Brentford, qualified by the Premier League.
Oh, okay.
He scored 25 goals in the championship. Only Bayern Mbeumo picture near that. No boy as a striker, Mbeumo as a winger. Now, the two of them contributed to 40 goals to help Brighton qualify at that season. And Adebakwa, money man kind evidence said, in as much as or striker or making assist. So one shot, and Adebakwa didn't say Emma making assist. And say, you see, always know, and now the statistics bit to say virus better at the better so players are more frequently or more running in behind attack. Then remember catch your last season. Or no a player or stretching or running in behind attack because he was playing as that focal number 90 on running Kodipo. You run behind to stretch the pitch. Last season, list or you're 46.1 than any other player in the league. And then there are a lot of several importance and benefits whenever a player is running in behind. There's a reason why Nicholas Jackson first season and always we are not checking apart from Kopama, hope a player be a assist more. Maybe last season maybe Enzo Fernandez here more assist. Or make him more assist and even Kopama goes baby or share here inside the box and outside the box I say Yakati from the insider Obi Bosch attaché biano. Always a Nicholas Jackson. Because whenever you run behind, always boss I a call wide. So this was a boy who wide no went to me and caught into power. What do you have to do? You have to pass to dangerous positions. And that is Oli Watkins. Last season, or running in behind that, the number of games, the passes be now a year, into virus or assist, and no penalty goals for Oli Watkins to survive my name since 2003, 2023, 2024. Several days when I can about this is the number of goals. Since 2023 to 2024, we shot 33 goals. The expected goals now is saying 30. It means we overperforming. The assist is saying 21. The expected assist is saying 10. We are overperforming the expected goals and the expected assist. That is non-penalty goals. Do I share? Maybe you pass ball if you now or run a wide areas or drifting into the boxer. No, lay pass into share. The assist out of the 21. A move 5. Yes, I think 5 and outside the box. Yes, 6 and outside the box. All of them inside the box. Now, so Obeka that famous goal be a Palmer man share against Netherlands. Ewo Euros. So Obeka is a ball. On the Copa be seen.
Yeah, mobile, yeah.
Yes. Obeka is a goal.
Semi-finals.
Yes, in the semi-final against Netherlands. One thing about Samson about Watkins is Listo. He is a striker. You cannot predict maybe on the ball. So Kitabo no, I on the right side. I on the right foot. No raw box ni ma. Always somebody say, oh, you're right into or the best the near post. Or the call far end, and there are several goals at least. Or share against Chelsea, or share against Aston Villa, and several teams are Sunday morning and amount for me. So back against Chelsea. Severus between the Chelsea and Aston Villa, they're not to saw me. Bono, I want the wide area. With the cheapest option is say, or the body share the first pool. Now, as the goalkeeper, Obita Sanchez. Look at Chama Bakono. Yes. 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 Oh, man, come on, Chelsea, then that's why. You look at the Chelsea game, no. The other one. Yes. List of your boy. Here be a Watkins Gina. Then look at where the goalkeeper is. As a striker. So when you on your right footed, because on your left footed or the better on the left now, or best send the far post. But look at where Watkins is. Now here will be original. Now here will be a Robert Sanchez Egina. The only option for him is or the near post. Or the far post and any idea Watkins tie. This is against Chelsea. Varus will find another one to against Fulham. This is against Fulham. And they keep a beer ebe occupy the first pool. Who occupy the first pool? He has the power and tenacity to play the ball to the far end. On far man to the left in the soul. Now on far back against Netherlands there no. And so when Kopama a ball the man a call that far wide. Or the ball in the box more 10 years now. One far to the left in the soul. And on the call the far end. The far post. So he is a player. Sanya mano ye ningano. E yadia otaye. Now virus and far Oli Watkins. Where or shiny but whether a near post or near the far end. No. Sebon with the left zone. See the can but the show pictures of Sebon on the right leg, no the right side in the box. All fan share the Facebook. Now let's look at what the athletic for the eye of the Abba. So what is Kitabon? No a war. The left zone. It is one thing identical to Kylian Mbappe. What's that Mbappe? So Kitabo now yes what be Kylian. On Kylian found with the far end. No that share the first pool. Because in the principle, goalkeeper behind him say, who the ball in bar or your right or the call the far end. Because Watkins, when the ball than the right leg or your right or shoot more with the right foot. Or what the left side and what the ball say, or the ball to the left. Now what Kelly they call the far post. Or the right leg, you know, every ball they call the far post. And now when I open now, so the left zone, I'll just say home na ball na toss one na over Kelly. And they call the far ender. On fan call the far end. Now look at near post. What choosy 28% of the balls. So call the left zone. On fan call the far end. Always or the call the first pull direct down corner shot. And I'm on one now. Now our right zone so see the number of games are what you see the left zone and in the right zone. So I don't know whether or the left side or the right side. Or to you see the far post 19%. So the left zone or to see the far post or tie Kelly because it always be who team predicting say or the best and non fan and is that presence list United for the be here. The 1v1 situations getting him at the always free zone or better tapping in bossa ebama nema bi aboano and how or any nema bi since you me by what improving to be a player now on the run in behind defenders no should bring out the best of Bruno Fernandes, Brian Mbuemo, any Machon school. So list two. Although Benjamin Sesko a player he can obetimi abo a hold up play or taking risk in the passes, any assist. But then this is a low risk. I think say United will take care. He's going to help them. And then report neighbor no. Chese in January, Arsenal for call Watkins. They mentioned 60 million. But United are confident that they can get a deal done between a year 60. Now, these are two players at United for no, I agree. Savaras between the How Watkins, Højlund, and Sesko comparison in city are big 5 European leagues. If you compare the number of games, in fact, Watkins, when you saw in terms of experience or BBS and consistency, 184 games. Højlund 94 games across Atlanta and Man United. Then also Benjamin Sesko 64 games. In terms of goals, listo. Who can these two players? Omo matches. Ni boom. No more goals. No crab. Højlund ni Sesko crana. Omo do Watkins. Ni assist. Look at the assist. Højlund 4 assists out of 94 games. So you can play Højlund or best strategic defense. But how can he even create chances and assist Brian Mbeumo and Kunha? He's nowhere near Oli Watkins. Benjamin Sesko 7 assists. So you look at Watkins, the analyst too. There's a reason why United follow. Remember, she was the last season teams are top 6 teams are almost creating chances. Oh, the Premier League, United can home. Top 6 clubs. But Upe teams are almost short conversion rate. Ever for man. You mentioned Southampton, then Ipswich. Call relegation. United a bottom 3 no. Indeed, and they've brought in double number 10s who can score and also assist Oli Watkins. They also have a Bruno Fernandes who can also score screamers. I'll bet me I bring out the best from Mbeumo, Kunha, and Bruno Fernandes at least on pretty at the deeper roles. So to me, Watkins might be 29 years, but then I'm going to height. No only player. There's one thing about Watkins. Sometimes maybe you compare a data analyst via or the blower. Watkins always say statistics now. On time she goes. Into the moment now on she goes. Or yeah, assist too. It is a virus of fact ni scoring frequency no. And to so mami compared to expected goals over time. How Oli Watkins goals compared with expected goals over time. From 2020 to 2021, the statistics season no or statistics or show goals no basa. Last season in August, occurred 7 games without a goal. In 2020, 2023 season, last 2 seasons, list 2, occurred 8 games without scoring a goal. But at that time, in that space, we provided 4 assists. Last time in August, occurred 7 goals without scoring a goal. We provided 4 assists. So even if as a striker he's not scoring now, he's contributing to goals for any team. Now, if you look at 2022, 2020, 2021, list or starting season at a very high age, no share goals to us, no atiaba, no asamba goals. Last season, we check it 2023, Tiba for 8 games, no share goal, and then your bar share more goals. Then again, or some share goals to us in 8 solid games. Into no say, the goals no starting say about always, we check here, always blue no, always blue no, the far end. It means that they been this season, last season, last 7 games, or share 7 goals. You been this season now, and then the form in the Babes.
But who join Man United, it has to change.
Yes, but listen, even if with this profile and at this data, so joining United, now you both first 15 games, Russia just 2 goals, no provided 10 assists. Nobody cares because Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, they were brought in to solve United goal scoring problems.
Okay.
Then after first season and a second round, now Mbeumo assist still. Now we share 10 goals. Listen, one number is now your projected before I start analysis. We projected 20 goals and assists. So our statistics in the first half of the season, now we share 10 goals and I provided 10 assists. Then in January, Brian Mbeumo Ako AFCON. Oni Amada ako AFCON. Afi Bruno Ababe setting in. Now Watkins go now starting back. You know we are saying. Is it not 10 goals, 10 assists? That is 20 goals involvement. And it's something that he has done with Brian Mbeumo at championship. Especially with Brentford.
Okay.
So I think that he will be a cheaper option. Or so effectively under United. Or more transfers strategy, especially this summer. Premier League proving players. Then again, or so Abba with the experience. Obetim the Abba. I mean, the best story Rasmus Højlund, the progress. In fact, it means that Rasmus, if Watkins is coming, they will sell him because already not Interpenal. And then
they will have 3 strikers, which is because if you look at the season, season year long, in as much as United will not participate in Europe, they will want to do well in the cup games.
They want to keep their small boy, Chido Obibino.
Well, you see, at this stage, because you want to. I feel say.
I mean, I don't think that in
Holland, no.
Accommodate Watkins, Rasmus, any Joshua Zexi.
Me who say Bibi woni mu.
Holland.
Bibi then oni.
But this moment, United is ready to wait for that Bibi ne wo.
But akwa say or what the price tag ni age na a big club like United. Now, if you bring Oli Watkins or no any league in dada or no English international, obviously the criticism, no harsh criticism, no what I say, and Shadanya the man. So at the end of the day, they are not going to buy him with that outrageous money. What I say, this one no bar, obviously, no bar number 1. Then he says in Holland no will come in as and when. And it means now you are not under pressure. Say what I say, you are, because I saw him or Obama Denmark. He looks very different. But as Obama Hollander, he looks very different. You see, United team there were a lot of deficiencies. Almost a lot of run boss team anymore. So if you check a year front three now and a only one can say Obaba Kahua. In Finfino, you have a year Bruno Fernandes there. What I say. Now I think say if me United I'll look at a year former Aston Villa midfielder no called Juventus no.
That is Douglas Luiz. So no point Juventus issue.
Yes, any Palina. You take advantage. These 2 players a lesser risk way. O di omo ba de omba be ye san kuntunduma na we hear some obi Zeppalina for instance or legs wa ball league just that to movie called different league na anye de anye you get him cheap na number be kan Kobe Manu. United they need somebody who will sacrifice, who will run. What I say now, you have Mbeumo an attacker who don't mind. Enemy energy level will track back or in a defensive way. Then who will make for that or more pay up a middle or a lot of legs Bruno money are there. So I think that if United now they will have to get a left winger, so a wing back.
Say now no more. That is Dogu and some I think South American boy be omukofana na nsia. So
young guy no.
Yeah.
Obetimabo. Well, then so I think the kakra betima peja United team no well. Mumi enhwe ne us ne kakra ho, but then what I've done is mayim kakra ntino. Mayim kakra nti ma memfa ne nyina ye den mahwefo na afi yenhwe. KF Dutra ene Copenhagen game no. First half under 2.5. And Dynamo Kiev any Hamran Spartans. Dynamo Kiev home win. And Inter Club the Escalades any Olimpija Ljubljana over 1.5. Grevna Zvezda. That's Restart Belgrade. Omone Lincoln Red Apps enable Epsinabo half time home win. Karabakh ene Shotburn FC Karabakh home win. Malmo FF ene FK Regas Football Scholar Malmo home win. Stuart Bucharest ene Tetovo ene Stuart Bucharest home win. Panathinaikos ene Rangers Panathinaikos home win or draw. Maccabi Tel Aviv ene Paphos Maccabi Tel Aviv home win or draw. Ena Ferencvaros Budapest ene Noah Yerevan. Ferencvaros win either half. Salzburg ene SK Bryan Salzburg ene SK Bryan Salzburg home win. Ena Servette Geneva ene Victoria Pilsen nebo. I don't know why Servette for no kwa away. Ekoko share Victoria Pilsen, but still mama Servette for ni sika bebre, so mama handicap 2. Ena Isaac Akuma ene Tampere Ives enable Isaac Akuma to score 2. Santa Clara ene NK Zarazdin Santa Clara ane home, so home win either half. Ena Shakhtar Donetsk ene Besiktas Shakhtar Donetsk home win or draw. Ena Iris Thessalonica ene Aras enable Iris Thessalonica no win either half. Hajduk Split ene Zira FK nebo Hajduk Split win either half. Ena Braga ene Levski Sofia Braga home win. Where may from Champions League into the Conference League, you know.
Okay, inti me were 4 odds for MYBET.AFRICA. Inti Copenhagen Champions League game straight win Dynamo Kiev on also straight win. Slovan game on Bebo and then 1.5. And at the New Saints over 2.5. Code no 7JFY MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay.
Yes, my selection for the day. 5 selected teams, I think, in the Champions League, and Karat Almaty, and Kopin Palsora, Ebo Karat straight win. Dynamo Moscow, and PFK Sochi, Russian Cup, no Dynamo Moscow to win. Hapoel Tel Aviv, Israel, only Hapoel Jerusalem FC. Double chance for Hapoel Tel Aviv. Granada, any Qatar Sporting Club, friendly match over 2.5 goals in that game. FC Krasnodar, any Krylia Sovetov Samara, and also a Russian Cup, FC Krasnodar to win. Code no a 6JFY. 6JFY.
All right. Yes, winning games near there. The attendance and Black Queens and the GFA president Echo Mohave omune executives no have a dinner breakfast and dinner breakfast and omu call Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum ewa Accra chese say no more de omo kochiachia ne ade a se bibia so no be de ebeko ye ewo honum ne ade a nti Queens naba utimi se ndra omu ko share team no kama ne ade a omunya $350,000 as prize money. You best start another qualifies October for next year WAFCON and on beba and also beba so wo Morocco no qualification no do be call World Cup 2027 or Brazil iti mumi amubo we no so 5 minutes aka nefa.
Yes, I think if your performance in the WAFCON na Ghana for be expect to say compete me do so because you playoffs ni qualifies to that competition na inyamanko especially with friendlies be boy. But I think Coach Kim Ebon homodin girls need to make sure some bet me abo homodin amagane tima kunini. We share a game against Morocco in the semi-final. It was against a host nation when him said the crowd, the fans at the stadium, yeah, they back but they fought well and will make sure say Nyama beat me. You share performance on modernity even against South Africa. And Mautia said they were learning through the tournament because in the first game in the tournament on the South African boy, you will send South Africa a share but they were able to pull them in the second way game on boy, that is the third and fourth and Nyama. I think your problem no about the striking phase of their game. Conversion rate anyway any more of him. So I think coach Niswaka say he's looking at adding in more players and also preparing the team. I think October there we need more and Enchebiano they'll be playing the next qualifiers. So we are hoping say they can pick this same momentum, getting 1 or 2 qualities a better team no. Then the next AFCON in that same place a core yet me boy home then we qualify for the World Cup because you are missing out a World Cup in Japan. So it will be a good stepping stone for the girls to get that world exposure and a move bit me move your local teams and non-performance on better in the AFCON and also in the World Cup no on bit me in bigger clubs Europe any around the world
Okay.
At least I think say Queens for na idea no your bomber baso assistant coach and it do came in the girls in Akase they did very well. Now I think say ESCO members and the GFA president and they would having a breakfast with the girls, taking them to the Kwame Nkrumah place, I mean to have time, let them appreciate whatever he did and reading the message now. Although they didn't win the ultimate, they had the bronze medal, but they are very happy because at least here one thing I kids by why are they buy women's football. We're investing on women football. Although sometimes I did acquire no issue in this, especially from the ministry aspect in this. Say Black Stars are their bonus is in the income. When I was at the Ministry of Youth and Sports some years back, anytime be our most especially they don't time
Yeah.
but one more as lady police ladies always be a chief of accountant anymore and they are so I like the fact that these girls at least they were able to brought in some money and bonus now they now promise somewhere they when they won and they said they've paid that money. So I like how they have to treat them because it do baby when the Queens are playing, the Black Stars are even wearing the new jersey, but then the ladies, princesses and maidens, no, and the Queens they are wearing the old jersey. Nah, just that time. But then I think that they are doing very well. So I remember Kurt and the people in charge of the Black Queens for Nabasu, they are doing very well, especially how am I investing in local football, especially Uchaki or more team anymore. With the exception of Boyini or Mona fans say all these ladies went through from Berry Ladies, Azakers, Police, and all these teams. And I think that motivated some of the girls, especially more Azakers ladies and this second division, first division, the Premier Women teams. And things that whatever they are doing now, they've seen say if they invest more, there's a reason why Nigeria for always they are taking the WAFCON and I say the outcome because Nigeria Federation they invest more money. And I see even look at the ladies and the women's leagues across Europe. Every top team and every top league in Europe and across the world, you will see a Nigerian player playing for them. As it's out of show, no ball, no Barcelona, no ball.
Yeah.
No best player to also sir. Now they have even other players even the Nigeria for the crown. So I think it's a testament to say if you invest in local football, then it will have an impact on women's national team. And they say invest in a league. Now even our league, we can't even maintain our good players. So you play an Abako or GD or share 8 goals, 11 goals, near man hype. Your friend the Black Stars back no nyasa exposure and so a national team player can the portfolio on agent in the local Switzerland baby or more community more because they didn't get that stability. And you league in India to be picking from behind, schedule anybody maintaining players. And then our players are fighting to move to Ethiopia, Tanzania, Rwanda, and even Nigeria because they pay them very good. Ntene Kotokokra sign players or when now is surplus to requirement. He will even sell you to get some revenue. No terminate contracts. make us say October 1 billion, about 2, about October 100,000, old currency 1 billion. About matches a player and the boy in do 15. Oshana wunye good on can say the automa it's in me 20,000 and 30,000 or they are facilitated the IBB. No terminate to contracts. No some sort chia or salaries compensation. No better no say chia compensation. Then now we go free. So how we are doing our football here? It is why never be high. Yeah.
Okay. Right. It nyame adoma Queens in the movement on me nyina de bebrati for na bibia tuma koye. China yebesa Asia yakram.